Tony, this is a question that we ask a lot of our guests. If you could bring back some deceased scientist and have a beer or a glass of wine with them, who would it be and what would you talk about? Any Serengeti ecologists you'd like to bring back?
Well, yes, I think the person that impressed me most when I first started was George Schaller, who is a very well-known figure, American wildlife biologist and above all conservationist, and has made his name in many areas of the world, including India, Africa, and above all in Eastern Asia, in China, Tibet, and so on. And he was there working on lions when I first started, and we used to meet up out in the middle of nowhere. We'd both of us be traveling around, looking for what we were doing. He was looking for his lions, I was looking for my buffalo. And we'd meet up at night, and over a campfire we'd talk. And I was so impressed with his whole attitude, his philosophy of life, the way he did things. And he has been a guide, a mentor, and a close friend ever since. And he has been the one that has prompted me to do things that I might not have done. He was the one who got me started on producing this series of Serengeti books, the first one in 1979. But we met up in Darwin, Australia, and I was telling him that it was necessary to try and pull together the work. It was dispersed across all sorts of weird and wonderful journals that nobody would ever be able to piece together. And he said, look, there's only one person who can do that, and that's you. Go do it.
And here we are.
And exactly, here we are. And my retirement party a few years ago, George came all the way over from the East Coast and joined it with me. Yes. So I owe a lot to him.
So let's shift gears a little bit. Another just quick warm-up question, Tony. Tell us about a non-science hobby that you have.
Perhaps in terms of activities, I am an avid bird watcher. I get a lot of satisfaction and release of stress by simply going out and looking at nature. In fact, I like all of nature, and I always have done since I was a small boy. But birds in particular, I don't know why that particular group, but it's something I do as relaxation.
Okay. Would you call yourself... Oh, go ahead, Art.
I was going to say, are you a lister? Do you keep lists of things you've seen? And
That was my question, too.
Most definitely not.
Yeah.
To me, seeing a common one and a rare one is exactly the same thing. It is actually seeing the live animal doing its thing in the wild, and I don't really care if it's a common house sparrow or some extremely rare bird. It's all the same, not in terms of being commonplace, but in terms of equally important and rare and exciting and stimulating.
Yeah. Oh, I love that you said house sparrow, Tony. That's great. That's about the main research species in my lab. So
great.
I love anytime somebody says house sparrow, I'm very excited.
he was just off in Senegal last week studying house sparrows.
The spread of house sparrows in Senegal.
The spread of the house sparrow globally. Senegal's one of many places. That's why I was in Kenya for 10 years working on sparrows there. Yeah.
Right. I actually observed them spreading across Tanzania. They came in on the coast, and then somewhere around the 80s they got inland, and now finally they've made it into Serengeti. But
have they? That's interesting, huh?
Only around the main tourist lodge. That's
right.
Nowhere else.
They're barely in the Mara either. We've seen them in up towards the Uganda border, farther north, and Kakamega I think is the farthest west we've seen them.
Right.
In Kenya.
As far as we've seen, they simply can't make it competition-wise with the numerous other ones.
Yeah, well, they've probably... we're going to get too much into house sparrows here, Art. Sorry.
Oh, we could just make it a house sparrow episode.
Yeah, the gray-headed sparrow is not really doing all that well. The rufous is also suffering with the sparrows moving across Kenya.
Oh, really? Oh, we're doing very well in both of those species in Serengeti. They're magnificent.
Okay. Where is so back to the general birding, Tony? Where is Serengeti your favorite place, or is that the same kind of thing? It doesn't matter. You're just as happy in your backyard at home as you are anywhere else.
Yes, the latter. I'm happy at the moment. I'm lucky enough to be on the outskirts of Vancouver, and we have the special snow geese that come in every year. There's 12,000 of them, and they fly over my house every morning. In fact, they're doing that right now. They roost on the marshes, and then they go out and pester the population here because they love school playing grounds, having been fertilized for them to eat the beautiful grass, and so they completely cover the playing grounds, and it's completely covered. It's white. You can't see the green. We could easily get 3,000 geese on one soccer pitch.
Wow, amazing.
So yes. Now the other thing you said, did I have other interests? I think in terms of, if you like, more intellectual pursuits, I'm interested in history. I'm particularly because of how it plays into explaining what is happening these days and how we are and how nature is. And it was only through that, and literally only through that interest, that I came to understand what was going on in the Serengeti and realized that what we were seeing was a signature of something that happened 100, 200 years ago. And I find that interesting everywhere in the world, going all the way back to prehistory as well. So I do a lot of reading from that point of view.